What's up, everyone? This is Draco Evolve back yet again with some latest Manchester United transfer news and speculation. First and foremost, guys, apologies for not doing any uploads for the past few days, especially this weekend. I'm from the UK. There was a bank holiday weekend. For those of you who do not know what is a bank holiday weekend, we have a 3-day weekend, which means the Saturday, Sunday and the Monday being the bank holiday. And to be honest with you, we had a consistent sunshine of at least around 30 degrees here at London, which is a rarity. So went out, enjoyed, went to a few places and spent time outside of the house, you can say, which is a bit of a rarity in my time. But back to the topic. As always, guys, I'm gonna restart the comment section, so do get commenting from your opinion. Let's get everyone talking, meeting new people. So as you guys know, I pick up a comment, so if I upload a video tomorrow, I'll pick up a comment from today's video, put up for everyone to see and discuss it. So it's sort of like an alternative for me for live streams. At the moment, I'm not doing as many live streams as I would want to, only because I don't have a set time that I can stick to, and I don't want to really put up a live streaming time, say 6 p.m. and not attend it or fail to attend it. So I kind of do a pre-recorded whenever I'm free and upload it as soon as I'm able to. But 3 things to discuss today. There's been a lot of paper talks around Fred Alexis Sanchez's potential transfer, and news around transfer news around Bruno Fernandes to Manchester United. First and foremost, we have Fred. So according to TalkSport and various other reports, there has been reports emerging that we might be getting rid of Fred, and that he's surplus to requirements and Oli does not fancy him. He costed us £52 million. That's a lot of money we paid last summer, but obviously he was a Mourinho signing and Oli does not see him in his plans. According to TalkSport, Fiorentina are believed to be interested in Fred, who is valued at £27 million. Now let's face it, right? Fred hasn't had the best of times, much like Alexis Sanchez in the last season. And Fred, there were glimpses of it. There were glimpses of his talent, what he's capable of. But these are only glimpses, you know. Even poor players can show glimpses. And to be frank, I would like for us to keep Fred and give him a chance, give him one full season under Oli, especially considering the fact that we do not have any backup options in midfield. I reckon he can be a starter if he shows his form in Shakhtar Donetsk, where he was immense at the club, especially in the Champions League run for them, given that it's a poorer league, you can say, with all due respect. But for us to cough out £52 million, we must have seen something in him that, you know what, he can be a good player for us. Unfortunately, that hasn't panned out. His stats wasn't that great last season. There should be some stats coming up for this season, which will be all 0. So because I don't normally tend to go back last season, show stats, is current live stats. So he hasn't started. He didn't join the pre-season. He had his wedding, and then he had a bit of a holiday. Then he came back, and no sign of him. No update on him, whether he's injured. No training update on him. He's not even considered on the bench, and it's 3 games into the season. So I don't know what's happening in the background. There is lots of speculations and rumors and gossips and transfer talk and paper talk. But I think, in my opinion, Fred will stay, given the circumstances we have in our midfield. At least there is some experience and quality, decent quality compared to what we have, what we are used to in terms of Fred. Because imagine one of the midfielders get injured, we're screwed, aren't we? But that's the latest around Fred. Before we get to Bruno Fernandes, I know you guys have been waiting for that. We'll talk about Alexis Sanchez. So Alexis Sanchez, according to Sky in Italy, Inter Milan are still optimistic they can negotiate a loan deal for Alexis Sanchez. Now there was talks were continuing over the season. It's been a long, it's been dragging off a few weeks at least now, and we are apparently demanding £11 million for the loan deal. Again, trying to kind of squeeze out as much money as we can. Whether that £11 million is a culmination of Inter covering his wages, or £11 million is separate to the wages, because there was some paper talk and rumours going around that Inter are not willing to pay most of his wages, or some are willing to pay some of his wages, because he's on roughly 400k a week. He joined obviously from Arsenal as he's 30 years old in a swap deal. He scored only 3 Premier League goals in 32 appearances. He simply did not live up to his expected stardom, you can say, that form he had in Arsenal before he left to join us. He was given the number 7 shirt, which is a big shirt to fill, and he has not simply delivered. And there was some paper talks going around that he is not willing to take a pay cut, which tells me his mentality a little bit, that he'd rather rot in the bench. His good days are, he knows his good days are way past him. He'd rather sit on the 300 to 400k a week and suck out money. And a player like that is not good for any dressing room, no matter where you go. United, for me personally, should get rid of him ASAP. He is clearly not in the same mind frame. He's clearly not the same player. I hope he does well if he does end up staying. I want him to do well because he's such a great talent. But as time goes, as weeks goes, as matches go into the new season, I don't see it happening anymore. And I hope, given that we got roughly 5 days, I believe, as of today, till the European window closes, I reckon there will be a lot more movement. Much like how Lukaku's deal went through, when it was literally, there were loads of talks, loads of rejections, blah blah blah, figures thrown out left, right, center, and then suddenly it happened. But this is the latest situation on Inter Milan's potential loan bid for Alexis Sanchez's transfer. On to Bruno Fernandes. Before we get into Bruno Fernandes, these two Manchester United players, if you had to get rid of one, who would it be? I mean, we need both in terms of depth now that Anthony Martial's injured and we're one injury away from a disaster up front, and our midfield is light as it is. But if you had to get rid of one, who would it be and why? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Next up, we have Bruno Fernandes. So we all know that Bruno Fernandes has been one of the players that we've been chasing and having scouted several times last season. And there was loads of reports over the summer that we are in for him. But according to some reports coming out today, United are reportedly back in for Fernandes in a potential move this coming January. Okay, so it is believed that United transfer chief Ed Woodward pulled the plug in the move, as there were concerns over whether Bruno Fernandes could translate his remarkable form in Portugal to the much tougher Premier League. You know what? If it is true, Ed Woodward, get out of the way. Let footballing people judge. You're not a footballing person, if it is true. But by the way, according to some reports, especially Ojogo, as translated by in Sport Witness, reports that Fernandes was once again scouted by the Red Devils at the weekend as the Portuguese set up 3 Sporting goals. Obviously, Sporting Lisbon's season started off this weekend, and he assisted 3 goals. Yes, he assisted 3 goals, which is more than what Jesse Lingard did in the whole of this year, I believe, and counting. It's as simple as that, and he can operate in that number 10 position quite well. Set piece taker as well. Luis Saha came out and said that United should go after, the former United striker obviously, should go after Bruno Fernandes. We all know that, but because he's so technically gifted, and he is technically gifted regardless of whether the Portuguese league is poor or not, a technical gift is a technical gift. He is better than what we currently have, bar Pogba, and having someone like him this season, the 3 games that we played, forget the Chelsea game, even though they battered us in terms of possession, but say Wolves and Crystal Palace, if we had some creative spark like that, a set piece taker rather than Rashford like that, I think we would have won those games. It's as simple as that. In terms of report, it's like, why do you need to scout him again? If you've extensively scouted him over the whole of last season, if every person, pundits, fans, scouts or whatever are saying that go for him, he's a good player, then why do you need to scout him again just to reassure yourself? Apparently the bid is going to be around £63 million, which is in and around the right price for Bruno Fernandes. But We don't need to scout a player like Bruno Fernandes. We just don't simply need to scout someone like that. You've had your intels. Go after him. We're clearly in problems. We are clearly in problems. Luke Shaw is out injured. And then you got Martial out. That's 2 players right there, potentially, yeah? You got Fred, not even features. Alexis Sanchez, gone. Lukaku hasn't been replaced. That's 5 potential first team players. Let's face it, they'll be in the first team if form was right. Straight out of the team. Bailly is injured as well. 6. You look at six players who are potentially away or injured or gone from the club, and you replace them with Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire. Daniel James is not ready in my opinion. And then you hold on things like Jesse Lingard, who's clearly playing the number 10 position, who doesn't know how to play the number 10 position. He's great for running around, but in terms of having the guile, the consistency, the passing range, the creativity, he doesn't simply have any of these features, and he is a bench player at best. At best, someone like Bruno Fernandes should not need to be scouted again ever. Just get him, and if he has a very good first half of the season, do you really believe Sporting Lisbon will let him go in January for £63 million? Do you really believe that? He's already got 3 assists in his first game. I'll ask that guys that question. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. But anyways guys, that's it for today's update. Thank you for tuning in. I'll try to do another update over the next couple of weeks, and I'll try to do them more consistently now that I'm back, and I'll try to join your channels, see what everyone else has been up to. And as always guys, stay Farafari.